Welcome to the Fantasy Pavilion, your home for fantasy sports. This is the #1 place for all your fantasy content. We do the research, so you don't have to. But wait, so you don't play fantasy? We have you covered with all your F1, IPL, and UCL content. So head on over to the Fantasy Pavilion YouTube page, like, subscribe, stay connected with us. We have all the content you're looking for. Fix that team though and do better. The last year you were doing shaky. But this year we're doing better. We're doing better this year.
Welcome to the Fantasy Pavilion, your home for fantasy sports.
Yes, guys, welcome back to the Fantasy Pavilion, your home for fantasy sports. And of course, we're here to cover the double game week 7, back in action, ready to go. Of course, it's not a very exciting game week, but we must get one of these throughout the season. Have to remind you guys about that Watford dreaded Watford double game week. And of course, I'm joined by some awesome guests tonight, awesome co-hosts this evening. So, of course, we have Lord of Fantasy Paul, our Man U expert. And then we have our Liverpool expert all the way from literally down under, all the way from Australia. Mackay, to be exact, is now at 8:06 a.m. Johnny, thanks for coming through, bro.
Thanks for having me, guys.
All right, yeah. So, Paul, double game week 7, asking you very early from the start. Both of you all just free. Are we excited by double game week 7? Really? No? Yeah.
Nah, not really, not really. I have a double game week. That's Kabure, but he's just like an enabler. So I just going to start him and see what happens.
Yeah, I got excited when you mentioned double game week earlier to me in the week, Jared, and then I saw it was Luton and Burnley, and immediately got far less excited after that. I think I have a Burnley defender on the bench, but other than that, there's nothing there for me, mate. So it's not the double game week where you look to double captain or bench boost or anything like that. So I think it's business as usual as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I agree. I'm guessing you have Bale on your bench, Jenny. Is that a lucky guess? I'm guessing it's Bale, right?
Yeah, I can confirm for you now, Jared. And I didn't send you my team on purpose because we're currently battling each other in the league that we're in. So we're very tight in that league. So I didn't send you my team on purpose, but my Burnley defender is Bayer on the bench. So yes,
a lucky guess.
Yes, it was a very. I think you've been paying close attention to my team, mate. But yeah, no, I don't think he's going to get a start for me this week, unfortunately for him. But yeah, I'm not expecting big things from Burnley or Luton this week. Let's be honest.
Okay. All right. So before we move forward, let's take a quick gander back real quickly just to see which assets popped off in game week 6. So of course, City played Nottingham Forest. Now everyone is expecting a cricket score, as we like to say, but it was very low-key, very simple. 2-0. Edison clean sheet, Walker with 11, Walker with the assist and clean sheet points, of course. Foden with a goal. Big surprise there. Of course, Matthias, the new guy, the new face, with an assist, and Haaland, Captain Haaland, saving everyone's blushes with a goal. Now, I know almost everyone at Alvarez, and Alvarez did not pop off this time. But as usual, it's not a time for panic, Johnny. You know, people like we have this reflex behavior. Everybody like knee-jerk, as I like to say, just want to jump off and drop him and sell him. But if you had Alvarez or anyone with Alvarez, Johnny, would you say it's time to drop him, sell him, or no? Just be patient. It's just one-off.
Well, look, I agree with you completely. It's not a time for a knee-jerk reaction at all. I've had Alvarez and Haaland as my two strikers from game week 1, and I managed to fit them both in the side. I took a punt on the fact that Pep would play Alvarez more this season and start him in more games, and that's paid off. And I think that Pep's going to stick with him. I think that if you've got him in your team, you need to stick with him. He's a cheap striker to have in your side. But when he's on the pitch with Haaland, with the midfield behind him, feeding those guys up front, he's very dangerous. He's always involved. He's had a great start to the season. And to be honest with you, in terms of his age and where he's at in his career, he's such a valuable player, isn't he?
Yeah.
He really is. I would love him at Liverpool, I tell you. I really would. I wouldn't be reacting too quickly this week. If you have Alvarez in your team, I'd stick with him for now.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, I totally agree too. I mean, he didn't. I think he came off early in the Carabao Cup. So he and with all the injuries that City has had, it makes him even more locked in his position, especially with KDB out. It looks like he's become the creative force for them since KDB has been out. So,
absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. And of course, you can't doubt Haaland, without Haaland, and not having Haaland kills you. Literally kills your rank. If you're trying to, right now, I guess the smart approach right now is early in the season. Don't try to do anything too fancy, right? If you're playing differential, don't differential like captain. Keep it on Haaland, and your team could be, a little mixed match of differentials and premiums. But try, if you want to stay with the pack, you have to stay with Haaland. We fail together or we prevail together, right? That's literally until we all wild card and all that and whatnot. I know Paul already had to burst that. No.
Yeah, buddy.
Oh no! Did you lose the wild card already, Paul?
Yeah, I had too many fires to put out, but too many issues, injuries. Who was suspended? I had to pull the wild card. But I kind of glad I got it out of the way because my team is more or less set going forward. So
that's good.
Yeah. Now this was a very interesting scoreline. Now I only bring it up because I have now if you look at the poll, I put some interesting names in a poll there. Now Brentford 1, Everton 3. Right, let's run that back again. Right? Brentford, who are drawing with Spurs and beating other big teams and stuff, have a great record against City. 1, Everton 3. Right, so a tough day at the office. Wheatson and Burmo again. Third straight week not banging for us. We have some weird names to call here. So, of course, Tarkovsky with goal. And, of course, you would have gotten some bonus points as well. Goal and assist, Calvert-Lewin, a name that we haven't said in a long time in a positive light. Goal. Of course, my boy, Abulai Doucouré. There's no secret. I love Doucouré, right? So, of course, Doucouré coming up trumps. He's in my fan tracks team. So, I literally danced when he scored. And of course, Garner McNeil amongst the assists. Now, the reason I want to target this game really quickly, Luton are playing against Everton. Now, this is the must-win derby, right? This game.
It's a relegation battle, isn't it?
Right? No, it is.
Early relegation battle, very early.
It is.
Can you tell I'm a little bit happy about Everton being down there? Can you tell that I'm just a little bit happy about it? Yeah. No, I think it's. To be honest with you, Brentford would be very upset with that result. They would be very, very upset with that result, especially how Everton have started the season. They've really shown next to nothing in terms of improvement or any sort of. They had a scare last year where they really could have been relegated. And you would think that scare would have sparked something in Everton, but it seems that this season, it hasn't. Yeah, it's returned to the same poor form that they finished with. They were lucky to stay up, and to be honest, this may be the turning point for Everton, 3-1 against Brentford, because I had Brentford winning this game, and now that Everton played Luton this game week. There's an opportunity for them to get 2 in a row and to start to get a bit of momentum and a bit of form. So it's interesting. I think that you look at players like, Tarkovsky had a great game. Calvert-Lewin's surely going to start banging some goals in if there's any chance of putting some wins together. and Decore, of course, always looks great. So there's some opportunities there to get some cheap players in this week, or maybe a cheap player or two from Everton, because they could go on a run. This could start a couple of wins in a row for them.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. And this is one of the most important. Every game now is very important for them, but this game is a game they have to win. And Luton as well have to win as well. But we will see. But I'm cheap. I have 2 free transfers, and I don't know, very tempted by the Calvert-Lewin, but it mightn't make sense bringing them in. I have to look at the fixtures, blah, blah, blah. But I'm very tempted. Very, very tempted. But we'll discuss
I think you
temptations
should go
another.
with it, Jared. Go with it, mate.
Go
Go
with
with
it.
it. I think because we're.
Right.
I think that'll take some points off you for me. So go for it.
Well, I don't know. I'm very, very tempted. Now, of course, the greatest team in London, face another kind of, team in London, right? I'm not gonna. It's not a kind of show, so I'm not gonna talk about things. But 2-2. Saka, right? The usual suspect with a goal and assist, and of course, and Ben White with an assist. Not too bad. And of course, Son, I did say it. I don't know how much time I said on the show, but Son loves Arsenal. I said it. People wanted to drop Son, put Son on the bench. Son loves Arsenal. And I'll say it again. Johnny's here. Son loves Liverpool. Maybe love
Yeah.
Liverpool more than he loves Arsenal. So I'm just leaving that there.
Yep.
Johnny
Yeah,
knows
yeah.
it
No.
first hand.
And Son is in a great position. These days he's playing up top. He's basically the 9 for Spurs. So yeah, and Spurs have been looking good. So it was basically set up. It was in the stars. The stars aligned for Son to have a big game, and he came out.
Yeah, I think the big thing for Son this season, and it was something that I think was highlighted when Harry Kane had his injury problems during their Champions League run when they eventually got to the final against Liverpool. Tottenham looked incredible without Harry Kane. And obviously you're going to play him when he comes back and blah, blah, blah. And that's why they played him in the final. It didn't work out. But I thought they looked incredible without him in the side. And I thought for seasons, for years, and of course he was the leading Premier League scorer for many seasons. You're not going to deny that, all of that. But for years, they relied on this one man up front.
Yeah.
And now that he's gone, the opportunity for guys like Son, for Maddison to come through, they've got some fantastic midfielders to come through and actually be more of a presence in the game. And like you said, this is set up for Son to have an absolutely amazing season, like the season he had when he tied Mo Salah for leading scorer. He has the potential to do that again this year, and it's because Harry Kane is no longer there. So he's going to be a danger man, and I'm very worried about him this week, guys. I'm very, very worried.
Me too. I don't own Son, and I am just trying to figure out how to get him into my team right now.
Yeah. Well, I'm just worried he's going to score a lot against Liverpool, so I'm just please.
Yeah. Let's hope he doesn't go crazy. Let's hope he doesn't go.
And then, of course, we have to talk about Maddison. Maddison has been just Maddison, as always. Maddison doing Maddison things. And as you mentioned, Kane, it's not a kind of show, but I always say it, Johnny and Paul, if Kane was at this Tottenham, because with Maddison in the back, providing those balls, I'm
creating the chances. Yeah, that would have been something else. Because Kane tends to drop back. He did that a lot with his Spurs. He used to have to be that kind of creative force and score goals at the same time. But playing alongside Maddison, he would have been licking his lips. He would have been licking his chops at that opportunity. Yeah. So I can imagine how that would have been. I think probably it's a good thing Kane didn't stay.
I'm telling you, it's a very good thing. Now, of course, a team from Merseyside, I'm joking. So, of course, Liverpool, big up Liverpool, and of course, West Ham. I thought it would have been way closer scoreline, but not too bad at all. Salah doing Salah things with a goal, Diego Jota and Darwin scoring, McAllister and Virgil on the assist sheet. Johnny, Virgil fully back?
Yeah. He has to be, doesn't he? He has to be because, I've been really enjoying watching Kanate play. I think he's fantastic back there as well. But you need Virgil, and you need him back in full form. I think he's, had the issue with the red card. He's had some time off. He's ready to come back into the side and really, really lead the team. And it's really important to have, with Henderson gone and with, the whole change of structure throughout the team, a lot of new players in there. It's really important for him to lead the team now and lead them strong. I think watching him get around in this game and seeing he even provided a lot of attacking threat. And I find that now we have guys like Zoboszlai and McAllister, they're especially with our dead ball, like when we've got a set piece, whether it's a corner or a free kick, they're supplying some fantastic balls in the middle, and Van Dijk's getting on the end of them more. So I think it's a matter of time before he starts really putting on some serious points and even bagging a goal or two. So, I think the biggest issue with putting in a Liverpool defender at the moment in your side in fantasy is that we have this weird tactic this season where we want the other team to score first before we actually start playing football. Which I don't know if that's an actual tactic that we're using, but it seems to be working. I'm calling us 3-1 FC at the moment. That's what we are. We're 3-1 FC because even in Europa League, in Carabao Cup, yesterday morning, 3-1. 3-1 FC, baby.
Now, the reason I ask is because I want to know if I can rely, if that changes the dynamic for certain players going forward now, not playing as deep, right? Certain players, and you mentioned Soboszlai, I'm very tempted. I love Soboszlai. I like him already, right? But he's more of a CDM, but he has been put here, put there, and he's been doing his roles really well. So I'm just marking him.
He actually scored again yesterday as well.
Yes.
Yeah, he scored.
What a goal. Did you see it?
Wonderful goal, wonderful strike. He had another attempt that was very similar to that. He almost scored 2.
He did, straight after as well. Yeah. Man.
He's been looking really. He's had a dream start for Liverpool, really. Yeah, he's been really good.
I would say if you're looking at before we leave Liverpool, Jared, if you are looking at bringing in a player from Liverpool at the moment, Zoboszlai is a great option. Salah's always a great option, but I would in the past seasons, Robertson and Trent Alexander-Arnold have been great options as defenders because we traditionally play our left and right backs. They come a lot higher, but I would say with the change of midfield now, they're not getting up as much. They're not getting up the wings as much. They're not providing as much. Trent is when he's playing because he's pushing more into the midfield, but he's still coming back from injury. He's still not 100%. So I would be avoiding Liverpool defenders at the moment. And this is coming from a Liverpool supporter. I would avoid Liverpool defenders at the moment. I'd be looking at some more of the midfield, maybe even a Luis Diaz or definitely a Salah if you don't have him.
Definitely. Yeah, if you could afford them, that's the catch there.
Yeah.
I find Nunez Darwin is a good punt. He's a nice differential up top there. As a striker, he looks like he's getting playing time. He started 2 of the last 3, and he's been in some good scoring form as well too. It looks like he's locked in to that pussy love now.
He's looking a lot more comfortable.
Even Klopp mentioned that he likes Darwin's work ethic. How he's pressing the ball. So that's a good thing.
Absolutely. 100%.
And then, of course, we had Brighton take on Bournemouth. Bournemouth shocked Brighton at the start. Of course, Brighton now in Europe. So resting players trying to see if they could handle that dynamic, if they have the depth of squad to do that. And, of course, Mitoma had to come on and save the day, thankfully for me. Of course, with a brace. Dahoud, a player I'm watching, keeping an eye on, not necessarily as an asset in FPL, but more fan tracks, but he's looking really good. With an assist, Estupinian needed that vindication. And of course, Gilmore, I must say, Gilmore looking like a top player, man. Not for FPL wise, but looking really good. He played his socks off, really gave it all on the field for Brighton. I must say, I'm proud of him. I'm glad for him. I've seen him since Norwich days, coming right up, played really well. And he might be a very important player when Brighton have the European nights. So could keep a track, and it might be a decent punt lower down the road. Bournemouth, of course, they can't go around with Solanke, someone we spoke about a lot on this show, Paul, as one of those strikers being overlooked along with Iwoni, right? Again, of course, there are other strikers, but if you're fed up of one, Solanke and Iwoni, to me, have been the most solid so far. All right, so far. Even more than we saw. And then, of course, we have to talk about this bloodbath real quickly. Oh Lord, in Bramble Lane, there was a serious murder in Bramble Lane. My goodness.
Oh, crazy.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow.
Insane, absolutely insane.
18 points from Trippier. 18. No, I did not get to check. I should have checked. Anyone by chance came across any trivia that is this historic, like 8 different goal scorers? I'm assuming yes. Anybody, if anybody sees this,
I think I heard something along those lines.
yeah,
At
Yeah,
least
yeah,
definitely for Newcastle it was a record in terms of the most goals they ever scored.
yeah, for
yeah,
sure.
So
yeah,
but
absolutely,
yeah.
Right
absolutely.
now, Trippier 18 points, Burn 12, Botman 12. Right, of course, Bruno G 13, Gordon 12, Gordon another one, played really well, really, really well. Must say, and looking good because of course Gordon,
He's
but he's
a
looking good.
very
But what
nice.
does it
He's a
affect?
nice differential. He's a nice
Yes,
differential. Um,
differential
yeah,
for
yeah,
sure.
yeah.
But again,
Especially
because
with
he played,
Barnes injured. Barnes is out
yeah,
injured. I don't think he's coming
yeah,
back till November, so
yeah.
he could be a good
Yeah.
little
Well,
pickup.
Barnes, they testing out Barnes. He came on for a little bit, so they're trying to see, they're testing him, they're testing the waters. So right now, Gordon took his place because he played both
Yeah,
Champions
yeah,
League and Premier League. So yeah,
yeah, yeah.
Almiron thing got in on the action too as well. Yes, with a goal. So 8 there. So it was just Anderson assisted, Isak and Wilson as well on the points. So craziness, crazy. This was a crazy game to watch. And yeah, so pick up Newcastle there. For that, are they back? We don't know yet because it's just Sheffield, right? We're not gonna get carried away. But
But
it was
I must say, Newcastle schedule it was a very difficult. I think they had the toughest schedule out of everybody
yeah, I
to
think
start.
so.
So I think
They
now
did,
as
they
the
did.
pictures started even out, I think we might see the real Newcastle. And they actually
Yeah,
won yesterday against City. They knocked City
yeah.
out of the Carabao Cup. So even more
With
confident
rested
from
players.
that.
Yeah, with
Yeah,
rested players. So yeah.
yep, yep,
Yeah,
yep.
yeah. You're right. All right, so quick look back. So this is the YouTube channel's team. As you see, Gusto messed up everything. Gusto could have just behaved himself, Paul. Give us a clean sheet. We just need a
Yeah,
clean sheet. We need 6 points to make 72 and 71. That's all.
yeah, yeah,
Nothing.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Or a yellow card,
Wait,
70 points. And then
didn't I
clean.
say? Wait, didn't I say take out Gusto?
No,
Hmm.
we just getting rid of
It
Chilwell.
was-
We just getting rid
Oh,
of
we're getting
Chilwell.
rid of Chilwell. Right, right,
Yeah.
right, right.
No, no, no. Gusto had to stay because you cheap option.
Yeah.
But yeah, Kabore 5.
But
That's penalty
Those
7
Chelsea
still.
assets were letting down people. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Right. Saka, of course, 13 points. Salah 10, Mitoma 10, Haaland 12, and Stepinian saved the day. Right. Kabore on the bench. That's the only thing to cry about. Nothing really. Right. Of
yeah,
course, we have some
yeah.
fires to put up. We have to put out a few things. We'll do some
Okay.
transfers later. All right, let's take a quick gander at our league. So our sponsored league. Shout out to Island Bear. Of course, guys. Of course, your lineman dinner, anything, just want to chill, have a beer, check out Island Bear Chill and Grill at 1 Woodbrook Place, our league sponsors. And our league leader right now is Fet Match 11 with 80 points. All right, so his overall is 429. His rank is 4,819. All right,
Oh,
so Edison, Botman, Estupinian, Salome Thomas' son. Wow, right? So it's 38 points
Huge. That's
alone.
huge.
Yeah, that's
yep.
pretty
Yeah.
high. And then, of course, Haaland, captain. Can't go wrong. Have to captain Haaland. And then, yeah, nothing to cry about on the bench. If we look back, so in second, Rising Sun, Joshua doing his thing, 81 points, 417 overall points, 22,844 rank. Leno, someone I'm looking at. I don't want to waste my chance. But from when I'm wildcarding, Leno is definitely on my plans, right?
I've
Leno,
had him since game week 1, Jared. He's a good
well
get.
done.
He's a
Yeah,
proven goalkeeper playing for Fulham. That's all you need to know, mate.
that's
Fulham are going to
all.
be their goals are going to be peppered. And yes, he's going to concede a goal, but he's going to save a shitload more than he concedes.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, I went for Ariola instead. That was who I went for in my thing, right? Estupinian, Botman, Saka, Madison, Mitoma, Haaland, and well, nothing to cry about on the bench. She would have cried if Bell converted more. Bell should have had a brace. But we will talk about Bell when we break down the show. And on last but not least, our third place here, we have Brighton early. I like that. Nice name. 95 points. Wow. 412 overall. 37,504 rank. Leno again. Estupinian. Tigny. Someone I brought into my side. Botman 12. Bruno. Bruno with 10. Saka 13. Matoma 14. Of course. Haaland 12. And Watkins 9. Solid. So congrats to our top three there. We don't wish you all the best, but good job. You all are doing well so far. All right. So let's get into the crux of the show, and then we'll come back to picking the team. So we already discussed, we already chatted, we already highlighted how we feel about this game week, but we still have to discuss it. We still have to shed some light on it, still tackle it. How are we, before I do this part, how to tackle double game week 7? If you had to tackle it, how to tackle? You have Burnley and you have Luton, right? In no order, go ahead. You can, don't jump all at once. But
I think if you already own you may own one or two players. I know some people would have jumped on the Morris bandwagon before this game week, and they would have profited because he scored. So if you have them, hold them. But I wouldn't go out of my way to purchase any of them, any Burnley, any Luton Town. I wouldn't. At least I wouldn't. I wouldn't. If there isn't anything pressing on my team, maybe you take a punt on one of them. But don't try to destroy a team trying to get them in. You're not taking any -4s or you're not taking any hits or doing a wild card just to get these guys in. Yeah, that would be my thing. I would just play it straight up.
Yeah, I and it might be a little bit boring, but I agree. there's really no other way to sort of look at the game week. If you do have a couple of guys that are going to be playing double games for Luton or Burnley, great. But yeah, I wouldn't be changing up your side or trying to fit someone in and making subs here and there. It's probably not worth it. Neither Luton or Burnley have scored a bag of goals in any of their games this year, so yeah, I can't see it. I'd love to be proven wrong, and who knows? It could be Luton versus Burnley could be a huge game. Who knows? But crazier things have happened. But I am 100% in agreement with you, Paul. I wouldn't be going out of my way to change my team for this double game week. There are bigger double game weeks. Let's be honest, a lot bigger double game weeks coming up.
Yeah. Okay.
And then you have to remember, if you're bringing in these guys, there's next week, there's the week after, their fixture run might not be the best, So yeah, I would definitely stick with who I have and then move forward. Go forward.
All right. My next question. So okay, not bringing them in. I'm not upset with that. I myself, as differential king, will not, right? But if you have this person on your bench, you have a Kabore, you have a Morrison, right? Of course, this guy from Burnley that's scoring. Hold on, I'm not good with his name. I'll get off in a bit. But
yeah, he has a strange name. Yeah.
Yes, very strange name, right? Amdouni, right? So you have these guys. So you have Amdouni, Morris, Kabore, and Bell, because Bell gets in some nice attacking position. I'm just saying, you have those guys as fodder, Paul and Johnny.
Yeah.
Is it worth it starting them to get some kind of points, or you'll leave them on the bench? But who do we bench for them? Who we looking at this game week that not gonna bang that we bench? Who do we risk? Because let's say you have one transfer, you're gonna roll the transfer, but you have a Kabore, you have a Bell or a Morris or Amdouni, and you're saying, all right, let me just bench one player. Who are these? Which one of these template players that we have for the longest run now do we bench to bring him in? To bring in the Kabore to get his point?
It's team dependent, but like if you have a lot of people obviously would own Estupinian, and although yes, he's been getting attacking returns and all that, they have a tough matchup against I think it's against Villa, right?
Right.
On the road.
Yes.
So I don't know. I don't know if it's you could probably bench Estupinian. He's owned by 65%. If you're looking at the differential points, and start Kabore or Bell. If you have one of the two, or as I said before, it's team dependent. It's how your team is set up. If you're looking at a matchup in your team and it doesn't look as favorable as the others, then yeah, you could do that swap.
Yeah.
I think I think from my point of view, the only sub that I would make, if you have a defender from Burnley or Luton on your bench that's likely to play, likely to start both games, I would be looking at the only thing I'd be looking at changing in my team would be if I have a defender from Liverpool or Tottenham this week. You know for a fact that both teams are going to score in that game, right? Like we already spoke about this, the impact Son has against Liverpool every time they play. You already know that Liverpool are likely to concede early. They've done it every game this season, but also they're likely to score and they're likely to come back and they're likely. So I think that both sides are going to put at least one goal in the back of the net for that game. So if I'm looking at that and I'm thinking, okay, I'm definitely not going to get a clean sheet from my defender in that game. I'm definitely not going to get a Liverpool or a Tottenham defender with a clean sheet. Is it an opportunity then for me to bring on that Burnley defender or bring on that Luton defender who I know is going to get two games? They're going to get two chances. So at the very least, they could end up with 4 points if they just played 90 minutes and they get their standard 2 points without conceding too many goals. So then I'm looking at 4 points rather than, well, if my defender's going to concede against Liverpool or against Tottenham, either side, then I'm only really going to get a max 2 points unless they assist. So I'm thinking that if you are going to make a change, you do have a Burnley or Luton defender in your side on the bench, the only way I'd be bringing them off the bench and starting this week is if you maybe have a Liverpool or Tottenham defender that you think, yeah, you know what, I can probably sacrifice them for a guy who's going to play lots of 90 minutes. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah.
It's on the other side of the coin,
Yeah, and one
And
last
to add to also like let's say in terms of midfield or attacking wise, you have a lot of issues right now. Saka potentially might not play. You could slip in a midfielder, or Jackson is suspended because he got his 5th yellow card, so you could bring in Morris for Jackson. You could do a swap there as a potential. Yeah, any little injury or any concern you have, you could just swap.
Or you put them as a full sub and have Saka on, so in case Saka doesn't play, you have them.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, that's the play. That's the play for sure.
Yeah. Big up Crystal, Guna fan as well. Right, business as usual. I agree. Now, my last question on this topic though: who has the better fixture? So I know it's an obvious answer, but I'm still asking. Newcastle, Burnley, Luton, Burnley, Everton, Luton, Luton, Burnley. Right now, off the bat, I will quicker jump on the Everton. I will jump on Luton. Luton has a fairly-ish, not too bad run, but that Newcastle, because after watching Newcastle hammer Sheffield here, you're thinking that, they might do the same thing against Burnley, but Burnley defense is not as hot as well. If they break down that defense and arrested-ish Newcastle, right? Because he didn't play the full 11. It was a rested team against City. So, the obvious transfer shout might be another Newcastle, not necessarily a Burnley, right? If you're really trying to tackle this game.
Right? I got to be honest with you, man. I think Newcastle can put another 8 away this week, to be honest. Like they were, they're riding a wave at the moment, aren't they? They beat City during the week, knocked them out of the Carabao Cup. They
drew AC Milan. First Champions League in 20 plus years. Drew AC Milan.
They are riding the wave.
Beat Brentford on the best run because Brentford was on a very good run.
Yeah.
Now, slap up Sheffield, and they knocked the 8-time winners, right?
Yeah.
And they were finalists of this cup last season. Let's not forget that. Newcastle finalists last time.
Yeah.
And now they have Burnley. This is beautiful. This is lick your fingers fixtures, right?
And this is four straight clean sheets, 4 clean sheets on the trot for Newcastle. So
yeah. I think the turning point for them was, I think the Liverpool game was a bit of a turning point, and because I know that was a very sore spot for them. They were 1-0 up at home, and then to concede 2 late goals, I think that was a real. How teams just need that turning point sometimes. They just
Liverpool was down to 10.
Exactly, and that's right. They were down to 10, conceded 2 late goals, and I think we look at some of the teams that go on these big runs and they stay undefeated for a long time, and you can always look back and point to one turning point or one moment that really changed it for them. And I think to lose at home in front of their fans, and if you watch that game, you go back and watch the fans during that whole 90 minutes, they were so loud, so vocal, really getting into it. And by the end, you could tell they felt let down by their team. And you could tell the players felt that too, walking off that pitch. So I saw that as a turning point for Newcastle. And you can just look at the run of form they've been on since then. It's absolutely phenomenal. And I do believe that they can put another 8 past this week. I really believe that it's going to be a really, really interesting game. Definitely one to watch for the goals, I'd say.
Yeah, I agree. All right. That's it for that. So we have any curious, anyone that's inquisitive or interested in trying out tackling the double game week. We hope that was helpful. Right. Back to business now. Buy, sell, hold. Who are the best candidates for this game week? Now, it don't have to just be for your team, Johnny. It could be in general, or who you're looking forward to, or who you're suggesting to buy, sell, hold. So, Johnny, if you have anybody, any 3 players, buy, sell, hold, or you just have one, let us know. Who's your buy, sell, hold candidates?
Okay. Well, I brought in Ansu Fati the other week, and I'm saying hold him because he hasn't provided the points yet. I'll hold my hand up and say he hasn't really fired. He hasn't, started his life in the Premier League amazingly. But you're looking at a guy who gets forward a lot. You're looking at a guy that can create really well, and he's labelled as a midfielder in Fantasy Premier League. So you get those extra points when he assists and when he scores. I think it's got to be a matter of time for that guy. It has to be a matter of time before he really starts to click. Brighton have a game plan where they are really free-flowing, and they do, encourage their players to get forward. Guys like Matoma, there's just so many really creative guys in that team that can move the ball on really well. So I think he's one that you, if you've got him, hold him because I think it's just a matter of time. It's got to be for him. In terms of sell, I've already spoken about what I think, the cases with the Liverpool defenders at the moment. I think if you've got a Liverpool defender in your side, they used to be hot property. The last couple of seasons, or last 3 or 4 years, they've been hot property for fantasy because, Trent and Robbo have been, they love getting up and down those wings. But I think it's time to sell your Liverpool defenders. And that's coming from a Liverpool fan. I love the guys, but I think it's time to sell. You've got guys like Trippier in defence who are absolutely killing it for Newcastle. I mean, last week, yeah, of course. But I actually, and I'll let you in on this one, Jared, although I promised myself I wouldn't tell you any of my tactics for this week because we are so close in the league together. But I have taken out Robertson from Liverpool this week and I've put in Trippier from Newcastle because to me, that you've got to bring in a Newcastle player this week in your side if you don't have one. So that's my buy. My buy would be Newcastle as a whole. So if you just bring in a Newcastle player this week, you'll be sweet. I think sell Liverpool or Tottenham defender if you have him. I think hold Ansu Fati if you've got him in your side, or at least look at him if you haven't.
Yeah. I know that's that. Paul?
To back up what Johnny's saying with Newcastle, well, I'll be a little more specific. I like Anthony Gordon. I think he's been doing a great job. He's returned in 5 of the 6 games for Newcastle since the season has started. And he's getting forward. I mean, Newcastle have been on a great run. Their fixtures look good. Newcastle definitely is the way to go. Anyone up, you can pick anyone in that attacking lineup. And Gordon, and a lot of people I see they're going for the double up where Newcastle is concerned, where the defense is concerned. But you could surprise people or get a little differential edge by going for players like Gordon or Almiron, or even Wilson. I don't think Wilson is heavily owned, and it looks like Wilson is getting the starts for Newcastle right now. In the Premier League, as opposed to Isaac, who is getting it outside in terms of Champions League and the other tournaments there. So, that would be my buy. Anyone of that Newcastle front line.
Right.
In terms of hold on to your Aston Villa assets. I think you could go between buy and hold as well. But definitely hold Aston Villa. Watkins finally scored his first goal last weekend. Their fixture run they're going to go on a nice little fixture run after this Brighton game. So hold on to your Aston Villa assets. Watkins, Diaby is a definite hold. Um, Matty Cash, Luka Dean, there are some real good players, and they've been in good form as well too. They're rounded into form right now actually. After that start against Newcastle where they got whipped 5-1, they've been picking it up. And in terms of sell, I would try to get rid of any Chelsea assets. I would like just sell them down the road, sell them quick, fast, and in a hurry because right
Get
now
rid of him.
Chelsea's been struggling. I mean,
Yeah.
I think they scored the first goal of the month yesterday.
Yeah.
Especially the attackers. Probably not so much the defense. With Gusto, red card. I don't know how long the suspension is for. That's what 1 game or
If it was a second yellow, so it'll just be 1 game. It's not 3
Yeah,
games
it'll be
like
one.
Rodri. Not Rodri. Not like
Yeah.
Rodri.
Yeah, but in any case, I would just sell Chelsea assets. They're just not good right now. So getting rid of them.
Now,
Yeah.
no, I want to upset you, Paul. Is it finally time to sell Rashford?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so at all. The fixture, they have a good fixture run. I mean, and Manchester United is starting to catch a little form. They have some good fixtures coming up. They're getting a little bit of continuity. Some players are coming back. It's starting to look a little more positive. A couple of positive results in a row. I think Rashford could come good this
man.
weekend. I think he
Johnny,
could. No, really, I really,
I don't
I
know.
really do
I
believe
don't
it.
know.
No,
What
I really
stage
do
is
believe
it?
so. Because
Johnny, what
no, think about it. Think about it. The games that
Scroll
Manchester
down.
United have lost so far have been
Let me
against
scroll
some good
down the league
opposition.
table.
No. I mean, we're definitely in a better position than Chelsea. Let's start with if we compare to Chelsea.
Okay,
But no,
but
I
that's a
really
low bar. That's a low bar.
I know, it's a low bar. But no, hear me out. The fixture
Okay.
run is good. Fixture run is good. That we are getting back players. They're starting to score. They're starting to get a little chemistry there. Amrabat has joined the fray. He's definitely going to help Casemiro in that central defensive midfield. And the better that the team plays as a whole, the better chances Rashford is going to get. That attack is going to get. Hoyland is starting to find his feet. I really think positive things are happening for us right now, and you should hold. I don't think you should sell as yet. We have some good fixtures. We have good. I think that's what I'm looking at the most. We have a nice fixture run. I think the toughest game we have is City. In the upcoming games that we have.
Yeah,
But
what I was going to say, Paul, is it looks like
that's in
you
game
obviously
11.
You got Crystal
Mhm.
Palace, you got Brentford after that. Well, you get
Mhm.
the touch in between that. Then Sheffield United away, which should be a win, really. You've got another Champions League game after that, but then you've got City, and that's at home. So what do you guys need to do up to that point to get to that City game and be confident? Because right now, if you were to face City this week, you're losing and by a lot, right? Do you agree with that? Do you think that you would be competitive with City this week?
I agree to maybe to the losing part. I wouldn't say by a lot, but I agree to the losing part. Yeah.
So you guys
But I
need to
think
go on a bit of a run of form now.
Yeah, but I think I'm seeing good signs though. I'm seeing some good signs over the last few games. We getting, as I said before, getting back players. Getting chemistry going. I think we'll be okay. I really think we'll be fine. And that's why I definitely won't get rid of any of my Man United assets as yet.
All
There's
right.
a hole. There's a hole for me when it comes to Rashford.
All right. We will see. We will see.
Yeah.
All right. So we already we likely touched on this, but Paul, I didn't hear from you. What's the Game Week 7 transfer plans, if any?
Well, actually, I didn't mention this in the cell because I don't know it's a popular idea, but I think I may get rid of Mbeumo and I may go to Anthony Gordon in the midfield.
That's a good. I think that's a good get. I think that's a good move.
Yeah, because Newcastle fixtures once again. I'm looking at form and fixtures. Brentford has been struggling, and then their fixtures I'll start to get a little tricky. So I prefer going with somebody who is in a bit more form, and he's a little cheaper as well too. It enables me, because I don't have a lot of money in the bank. It then enables me to get another change, like bringing in Son for someone else, in my midfield, Son or Madison, it gives me a little bit more money. So yeah, that is potentially my move this week.
Yeah. Well, I already told you I'm interested in Calvert-Lewin, but obviously I'll put more research into it, take my time, check their fixtures. Only for just a wild punt, but because I'm not really tempted by the double game, but really that Calvert-Lewin, I really feel because Luton not looking too hot, Everton decent run a nice high so far. All right, their next two games not terrible, right? They're playing Luton and Bournemouth. That's not that terrible. Then Merseyside derby. So I could hold on to Calvert-Lewin for 2 games, get my goal, and then sell him off, Johnny. I don't think that's a bad gamble, right? Given the state of everything else. And I don't have much fires to put out. So I think that's my
Who you
general
selling?
plan.
Who you selling for?
I will sell Wissa. I'll sell Wissa. I'll get rid of I'll hold on to Mbomo and I'll keep Wissa. That's my I'd rather hold on to Mbomo. Mbomo's still the engine, still that guy that keeps things sticking. I'll hold on to Mbomo and I'll sell Wissa. Only for form, just to try and chase the form a little bit. And it will still keep me competitive with the pack. So
I mean, it's not a bad game, man. A lot of as I said before, it wouldn't be a popular move because of the fact that they're playing Forest next, and Forest does give up goals, but it's a home game for Forest. So
right.
Forest is still a little more competitive than the Burnies and the Lutons and Sheffield. So they might actually give you a little bit more of a game.
Yeah.
For me, I want to downgrade to Gordon and see if I could get a hold from Gordon in this next game against Burnley.
Yeah, I don't vex with that at all. Yeah, pick up Gordon. Right. Differentials will be real. Lash out and bring out some good ones. Of course, Gordon, Calvert. Could I say Woonie again for what? The 7th straight week, Paul? I could say Woonie again, Woonie. Right.
Yeah. I mean, we just mentioned how competitive Forest is, and how Brentford has been looking good. He could definitely squeak in a goal against them.
He could touch him. Solanke, solid. With City's injuries, guys, and people uncertain about certain players with Champions League and whatnot, are just being wild. Mateus from City. Too wild, Johnny? That's too wild for you, Johnny?
I'll give you another one. What about Doku?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
No, that's actually good. That's actually a very good one.
Yeah.
For sure. But he got on. Did he get on the pitch last game?
I think he was rested. I'm not certain. I know Grealish started the last in the cup game, but I don't know if Doku came. Probably Doku did get a little playing time eventually.
I thought he might have. I think I've seen it, but it could have been Carabao Cup that I was watching. I can't remember. I thought I saw him get on the
but I know he started the last few Premier League games when Grealish was injured. So I don't know what's the situation. I mean, that's the thing. It's hard to figure out what Pepper's going to do. Huh?
Yeah, Jeremy Doku started against West Ham, scored. So he's a chance. Yeah, a huge chance to bring in into the side for sure. 100%.
Yep.
But
so he's a nice differential. I think because he's more attacking as well too. Nunez will pick up more of a midfield role if he starts from City.
Yeah.
All
right.
Also, who's a good differential too? I don't know if you all call his name today, Jared Bowen. West Ham is coming up against Sheffield United.
Let me tell you something. My main team that I've not ever, I don't think I've ever shared on the show yet. I brought in Bowen last week. That was my punt. And Bowen was flagged. He was flagged, guys. And I was like, you know what? Go for it. Bam.
Yeah.
Because he loves, oh gosh, that was a great feeling. I was like, what time to bring it, Bowen? I would not.
That's the punt.
Yeah, because it was him or Ward-Prowse. That was the choice.
Yeah.
Literally, that was the choice.
I saw somebody comparing it to us, and they were saying, if you're going between Bowen and Ward-Prowse, who would you take? And it's although yes, Ward-Prowse is creative and he gives you assists, Bowen has a better chance of scoring and giving you a hold. So definitely, I would go with Bowen. I would definitely go with Bowen. If you want to go cheaper, then yeah, Ward-Prowse or a little bit more differential. But yeah, definitely Bowen right now. He's been on fire for West Ham.
Yeah. Well, it didn't even have a. That was even my deciding factor, because to me on paper, Ward-Prowse, I rather Ward-Prowse on paper if we look at it from a football perspective, what he could do, because his chance to get points back is way higher than Bowen because of the set pieces, corners, assists. Right? You'll take 2 assists and be happy. I'll be very happy.
Yeah. True.
Than to hope that Bowen, his main thing is goal. Yes, he could assist. I'm not saying no, but his main thing is goal scoring. Right?
Yeah.
But something just so we know what, boy, Bowen is a big game player. This is a big game for them. I know that it's a loss, but I was like, nah. I really feel he could do something.
He had to do something.
He loves them. He loved that. Again, like son, he loves that. He loves Liverpool. So I was like, you know what? Let's go. And yeah, he did it for me. So I was really happy for that. Really happy for that. Yeah, I almost cried there. But yeah, because when you get a punt and the punt works, it's a really good feeling, guys. It's a really good feeling. It's it's like flipping that pancake and it come out wrong after that nervous 2 seconds and they're not sure. Oh, it's a sweet feeling.
I've never heard anyone compare Fantasy Premier League to flipping a pancake, but that's great.
Jared, what are you doing us? Make him hungry. Johnny even eat breakfast.
It's breakfast time here. It's breakfast time here.
Don't even eat yet. Oh Lord. No. Boom. The best and biggest and most controversial part of the show now. No, forget Haaland. Haaland does not exist. Right?
Haaland's out.
Well, I can tell you right now, he doesn't exist as captain in my team this week, Jared. He does not exist in my team as captain.
Really?
He Captain Trippier.
I'll give you both. You got it straight away.
I told you I would.
Paul, I said to Jared during the week, I said, I don't have Haaland as captain, and I'm not going to tell you who I picked, but you've got to have to guess it on the show. And you were confident, weren't you, Jared? You knew exactly who I was going with.
Because that's the kind of
I probably gave it away a little bit. I said it earlier. I've taken Robertson out. I've put Trippier in. I just really believe Newcastle can do it again and score a lot of goals and not concede against Burnley. I think it's a huge game that it's another bunch of points going to be up for grabs there. So you really need to get a Newcastle guy. And I reckon Captain Trippier, don't listen to the Haaland people. Don't listen to them. Captain Trippier, do something different and win your league.
Yeah, I love that.
You know what? Triple captain. Go the triple captain.
No. Yeah, that's too wild for me. That's too much.
No. Okay. I'll calm down. It's only breakfast time here. I'll calm down. Okay, it's still early.
Yeah. Calm down.
If you captain, now I play darts, right? So 18 is a number I'm familiar with. So if you captain Trippier last year, you've gotten 54 points.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's huge. That is
54 points. That is solid, right? Now, it's not a double game. That's not a double game. But if you look at it, right? Think about it.
It's almost like a double game.
Yes.
Exactly.
Think about it. Say triple captain and then they captain him. Yeah.
I've had triple captain. Last season, I used my triple captain in a double week game, and I think the player that I picked was probably Mo Salah, and I think he didn't even score in both games. So I ended up with like 6 points. So that it's really like people save up the triple captain for the double game week, and that's the smart play because it's most likely to give more points. But you're right, your triple captain Trippier last week, that's better than most double game weeks that you're going to get anyway, isn't it?
Yeah, true.
And then if he does the same thing here and they get another 80 on top of that, bruh, 72 points between 2 games. I think you're going to be very happy. So,
but I save in mine. I save in mine for Haaland double game week. I think they haven't won in 20 with Brentford and one of those. Smaller teams.
Okay, yeah. I think everyone will be doing that.
I mean, it's boring. It's a boring pick, but you don't want to run the end of Haaland. Imagine 2 hat tricks in a row,
Oh,
and you miss out a triple captain, yeah, you are
nah,
going
man,
to be,
nah.
you're going to feel sick. You're going to feel real sick.
Yeah, yeah.
It was just now. If he does that, hat-trick is what for a striker? How much he got the last time when he scored the hat-trick? Let's see the match quick.
17 or 18 points, I
Only
believe.
18?
I think so. Remember, strikers only 5. Is it
Right,
5
right.
or 4?
So
No, it's 4.
even
It's 4 for a striker.
Oh,
4
yeah,
points per goal. Yeah.
no, I want the maths. I really want that maths. When he scored the hat-trick, that
Put
was
up
what?
here.
Some of that maths quick because the reason why I'm saying it,
4, 4, 4.
I reason that
it'd
right.
be
So he
12
scored,
plus the 90 minutes, so it'd only be 50, it'd only be 14 points, right? If he got a
Well,
hat trick.
the bonus, any bonus will make it 17.
And man of the
he
match,
only
you get a
got
bonus, so
yeah.
it'd probably be like what 16, 17.
17, yeah.
So
Well, 17, yeah.
so your triple captain. So that is just him alone, and then your triple captain that's 34. So 51, right? So 17, 51. Then he
Mhm.
come, all right. Because yeah. All right, I'm trying to do the
Thing,
maths.
and this is the thing as well, and I do want to bring this up as well. I get the triple captain and Haaland, and 100%, I understand all of that. But what I will say is that if you've got a midfielder that is consistently scoring, like when the years of Fabregas for Arsenal, he'd score every single week, and you'd always put him as captain of your team. Having a midfielder that could provide those goals like Haaland and to triple captain that. Imagine that, you say Haaland with a hat trick only gets 4 points per goal. But if a midfielder was to do that,
Yep.
like a defender, and you had them triple captain, much like we were saying with Trippier,
Yeah.
Man, it's so much more valuable, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's the
yeah.
risk. It's the risk
Correct.
there. You know Haaland's going to.
Of course.
Not as much.
Yep.
It's a risk, but that's why I'm trying to say for this week with Trippier to identify the game where I don't know. I keep bringing it up, but to identify a game where you could have a defender that gets a big score.
Yeah.
That's the stuff that you really need. I think that's more of a differential than anything, really, because if you can identify that when everyone else is captaining Haaland every week, if you can find a captain that's going to score more that week, I think that's going to be more of a difference heading towards the end of the season in Fantasy Premier League. If you can continually update your captain week in, week out and try and pick the midfielder or defender that's going to do well and get more points than everyone who's captaining Haaland every week, that could be a huge difference in your league.
Yeah.
Yep.
I agree.
Correct.
I agree. And it could even
but
go
then it's a risk. Then you got to risk it.
Yeah, but you'll have to go a step forward and probably even get rid of Haaland and get two strikers that scoring more than him. That's what you need. So you have to get two strikers that at least matching his score, and then captain at midfield, and then you bang in at your races there.
Yeah,
right?
man.
Big up Darius. We said Brentford and Sheffield. Are the double so far. So that's tempting. That's tempting. And he's saying that he went mad this week. He took a -4 for Salah and Ward-Prowse.
Well, right. Darius, that's your fault for not having Salah in the first place, mate. What are you doing? Come on, Salah should be in the team all the time.
Yeah, exactly. I brought in Salah. My wildcard I used last week, I made sure and put Salah in one time. I wasn't fooling around. I was like, Salah has to be here.
That's from a United fan. That's from a United fan right there. So,
What's not respect? When it comes to fantasy, Salah is he's still the boss. Yeah. He's still the boss.
He's the king.
Yeah, man. He just keeps returning. He keeps returning. If you want a captain pick, I would actually wouldn't mind taking a shot on captaining him this week against because Spurs is giving up goals too.
What is it? 13 consecutive games with either a goal or assist with a score involvement for Salah. He's on a run at the moment where it's been about 13 or 14 games in a row, and that's including cup competitions where he's just been either assisted or he's scored a goal. So if you want to return for a midfielder for captain and you want to try and do something a little different than the standard Haaland's pick, then Salah's not a bad option, really. When you think about it.
For real.
Mm-hmm. All right, so we coming down just on an hour there. We could do this last part quick. So Darius is a Chelsea fan. We'll be sorry to hear that, bro. Right? Commiserations. Right? Commiserations. Sorry to hear that.
Paul was ripping into him before. Poor Darius had to listen to Paul say, "Sell all your Chelsea, sell all your Chelsea."
Well, he said that.
I'm sorry, Darius. I'm sorry.
Paul went.
But he took my advice. He took
You
my
wouldn't like
advice,
this.
sir.
You wouldn't like this joke,
You
Paul.
watch Chelsea are going to
He did a
score 10
TKR
goals.
all out. He did a TKR, Paul. All out, all Chelsea.
Oh God, no, don't remind me, don't remind me. Cricket is done. We all
Oh,
cricket is
go
off.
ahead. What is this?
It's
What is this?
the
Johnny, did you? What is this? What is this? Why? Jason, no, Jason, no, Jason. Now, but Jason's a good friend of mine, Johnny, big Liverpool fan. Really big
There you
Liverpool
go.
fan.
There you go.
Right?
There you go. There it is. There it is. There
See,
it is.
you
Come
know,
on,
that's the
Jesse.
only thing. Jason, you're not a big fan. Let's say get a tattoo of your team. I have Arsenal tattooed as well. So I
There you
think,
go. We got
yeah,
the.
have to have Paul. Where your man new tattoo, Paul? Where?
Where you go? Where? Come
I
on,
don't do
Paul.
tattoos. I don't do tattoos. I
Commit
don't
to
do
it, Paul.
tattoos.
Commit to it.
So that when my Man United jersey, I come on with my Brazil jersey.
No, I'm
Oh,
sure that Paul doesn't want to commit because he's not confident that they're back yet. He's not.
that's
You're
it.
not
Yeah.
confident, are you, Paul? You were talking before, but I don't reckon you're confident.
No. I'm confident. I'm confident. If I knew a Liverpool fan was coming on the show, I would have definitely wear my Barcelona jersey. For
Yeah,
sure, for
next
sure.
time. Next time.
For sure. Next time.
Right.
Now I know.
So let's, Paul. I mean, I know Johnny, I'm not going to ask you to help, obviously, because this is the team in the league right now. In a nice, watch this tightness, Paul. I'm going to show you this. This is really nice. So, football Sundays, right?
Mhm.
So, 390, 389, and 388. It is
Oh,
really tight. And it's all right now.
yeah.
It's killing me.
It
It's
is
killing me.
tight. It's real tight, right?
Oh,
And basically, Paul
no
has a
margin
good
for error.
team,
No
right?
margin
Top
for error at all.
of our
No
league
margin
is
for
my
error.
dad, and the person below me is my brother. So you're
Right.
battling the Wilson family at the moment, Jeff.
Just
It's a family thing.
family affair.
Thing.
A
Yeah.
family.
Yeah.
Not the way I wanted to meet them, but that's all right. I'll come wipe the tears. I'll come wipe the
Yeah,
tears
yeah.
when I come out here. Right? But Paul, we have a task at hand, Paul. We have 2 reds on the bench. We don't necessarily have to tackle that right away, but we have Estupinian, Gabriel Covori in the back. Are you happy with that? And Edison starting. Happy with that? Should that change?
Yeah, I'm actually fine with that.
Right?
Because I mean, yeah, Bournemouth hasn't been scoring a lot, and actually Arsenal are better defensively on the road. They've
Yes,
kept
correct.
clean
Correct.
sheets. They actually play better on the road. So
Correct.
yeah, I'm okay with Gabriel starting, and Estupinian, well, he always gives you that assist potential. Even if Brighton do concede, which they end up doing, against Villa, you still have he's a monster when it comes to getting assists. You still have a creative beast in Estupinian. So yeah, I like that defense.
Right. Midfield now. So we have Mpomo, Saka, Rashford, Salah, Mitoma. Right? Talk to me. Now,
Saka.
go ahead.
Saka. What we doing? We had to me, I had to get the full news on Saka. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, it might not be that serious. You could probably hold him. You could probably hold him, but you have to decide if you want to bench him or start him. That's the only thing.
Well, what I like to do and key, because Madison did it to me. Tango, I didn't do the Bowen, right? What I like to do personally, guys, is so Saka's injured, big player. We could say one of the best FPL assets I have right now. I'd rather get someone semi-decent in the subs, first sub, and leave it like that. So Saka bang and score, don't cry. He doesn't play at all, but my sub bangs and score, don't cry, because he'll come on for Saka. I'd rather do that than full get rid of him. And next thing it was just Arteta playing mind games, doing like Red Bull and saying this, and then bam, next thing they're on top. And no. So I try not to be gaslighted or be hoodwinked, right? Because Arteta's playing some serious mind games right now. So I rather have, because you saw it, Madison. How long Madison flag now? Madison flag, what, 3 weeks now? And Madison played all the games and banged in all the games. So imagine if you follow that flag, right?
And he's flagged again. And he's flagged again.
Is he
But I think I think the last report I heard is that he should be okay to start this week. Yeah, it's not as serious as Saka's injury.
right? So I rather have him. I know he may.
Keep
There's a
him there.
high chance he will miss a chance. I miss a game. High chance. Or there's a high chance he come on as a sub and bang something. So I rather not risk it. I rather keep him and hold on to him, and we could always. So what we have to look at is what we're gonna do with that bench. That's what we have to do.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
That's what we had to do. Well, Darius, what's your plans for the game? We could see if we could help all you out. Estepinian is class. Yes. I'm trying to tell a certain friend that who
Oh, you have it's 2 free transfers you have there,
we're supposed to have two. We're supposed to have two. Yes.
and how much cash? How much cash
Point
do you have?
oh, we rich, right? Point one in the back. Point
Point
one
one.
in the
Wow.
back.
Yeah. Ooh, that's a tough one.
So it's a tough. Do we go? Do we go? Do we go? Do we go Newcastle and hope we get the points there? And then, well, or a -4 might have to be on the cards. This is kind of game week. This might have to, you see, this is trick here.
Yeah.
Or by the bullet get rid of Saka, which is something I really don't want to, but may have to happen. So it's 3 scenarios. Get rid, drop the 2 defenders,
Unless you
-4.
unless you wanna sell Rashford.
Sell Rashford.
Take a gamble
Who
there.
they playing again? Who you playing again, boy?
In Crystal Palace.
Woo!
Yeah, that
Yeah, boy.
I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like it.
Yeah, I ain't like it either. Again, I ain't like it
Wait a minute,
either.
Paul.
So,
Wait a minute, Paul. I
Yeah.
thought you were confident before, mate. What's happened? What's happened? It's
No,
changed
I-
now.
No, it's
Who like jumping
it's
Rashford
fantasy,
against
so we
Palace?
have to be a little more level-headed, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just trying to make it exciting too, you know. It's
Yeah.
uh,
Okay.
the Manchester United fan deliberating about whether to sell Rashford before Crystal Palace, you know. Add a little drama.
Well, who could you bring in? You've got Rashford is cost 8.9. You've got 0.1 in the bank. Who could you bring in for 9?
Let's see.
I would have said Son, but I think Son is up to 9.2, right?
9.2.
Yeah, I think he's just up. But if you trade out maybe another,
Madison is 7.9. Owen is 7.1. Foden is 7.6. Well, Foden start. And I don't want the triple city. Really don't want to. You don't want to do that. The RB 6.6. You have Gordon as your shout. Ward Prowse 6.3.
Gordon is 5.6.
Yeah, because we can start to tackle Newcastle and play.
Foden's a huge chance. Foden's a huge chance.
What about who's the striker you have on the bench there? What's
Mobama?
Price?
4.4.
4.4. Oh, he's an enabler. Okay, yeah, you really can't touch the can't touch it. Yeah, that's the tricky thing. You see, everybody on the bench is so cheap that it wouldn't make a big change if you go to change anyone. You really have to go in the starting lineup.
Yeah, that's it. So do I get rid of
you see, I'm worried about because I don't know how serious this Saka injury is. Next thing you know, they come and they say he's out for a bit of time.
Yeah, and it does not make sense to me to sell a well-bodied able Rashford for someone who's risky Saka, if you understand, a quicker because he's well-bodied able. I mean, you could bring something that and by the bullets, say all right, Saka, and if Saka's back, of course, try and bring him back in. That kind, you know what I mean? That's just to me that makes more sense. It makes more sense.
So okay, here's what I would do. I mean, we just playing around with it right now. And just seeing what options we have. But you're still waiting until you make the potential, you plan it, whatever you're going to do with Saka. And if the conferences come out tomorrow and they say that Saka is definitely out for a good period, then you go through with it. Yeah, then you go through with that transfer.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would sell Saka then if that's the case.
All right. Oh, so Kevin saying James Ward Pro set pieces against Sheffield. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good shout.
Yeah.
Great shout. So all right. So
defending headers. Well.
Yeah. So okay. So let's say we sell Saka. 2 options for Saka, and who are the 2 options for Gusto then?
So it's a double move. You go down from Saka to Bowen,
Okay.
right? And it gives you enough money. That should be what 8.6 to Bowen is what 7.1. I'll give you
Yeah.
1.5, 1.5, and 4.1.
5.7.
Go for a Newcastle defender.
Right.
Gain on their defense. Go for somebody
Okay.
like Botman or Boone
Okay.
or Schaff.
Now,
Fabian Schaff at 5 million.
yeah.
Is a good.
Now, Johnny, what would be your up now? Saka is injured. Now, forget me now, my team. I'm just talking in general. Saka's injured. People wondering what to do with Saka. Would you keep a player like Saka, or would you sell him and try and get someone else just for this game?
Well, I think if you're selling Saka this week, his value is already dropping, right? Because he's potentially not playing. So it'd be a bad week to sell Saka just because you're not getting much of a return. And I think that the option that you sort of floated, Jared, is probably something more that I would go with, which keeping him in the starting 11, but having someone on the bench that can come on and take his spot. So, for example, again, same situation that we spoke about before. If you have a Burnley or Luton defender who you know is going to start or going to play on the bench, having him as your first sub and then having Saka start, then if Saka doesn't play, you've got that double game week coming in. And arguably, at least if they do nothing else but just play 90 minutes, they're going to get 4 points across the 2 games, right? Yeah. If they don't concede, it could be 6 and more. So if I would keep Saka because you have to, right? You have to keep Saka. He is such a valuable player, scoring from the midfield. You know, even if he comes off the bench, he's a chance to score. But if he doesn't, then you've got that backup as your sub that comes on. That's how I would play it. But, you know, each their own, I suppose. In your situation here, I think there's another option in terms of you could keep your defence as is and potentially get rid of Saka and Rashford, bring in Ward-Prowse and Bowen, and then you've got a war chest for next week. So you can bring back Saka if he's fit again, because you've got a lot of money in the bank.
Got a lot of money.
Because Bowen and Prowse are cheaper than Rashford and Saka. So you're building up a bit of a bank there for next week to bring back one of those 2 players if you want to. Because quite often we fall into the trap of selling someone like Saka when his price is lower, bringing someone else in the team of similar value, and then not being able to bring Saka back in next week because his value's gone up now that he's fit and able to play again. So there's a flip side to that, and the only adjustment that I would make, because you guys seemed happy with your defence with 3 at the back, I don't think there needs to be a move in that defence, and you could potentially get Rashford out, bring Ward-Prowse in and Bowen. You've got a bit of extra in the bank for next week, and then you can reevaluate depending on what happens next week or over the weekend, this weekend. But that's just how I'd play it. But I think what you guys have done, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Bowen's a great addition. And like we said, getting anyone in from Newcastle this week is going to be a plus, right?
Yeah, for sure.
I was thinking this too. I mean, you still have your wild card, right?
Of course.
Yeah, so even if you make the move, you could still bring back in Saka.
Yeah, on our way. Because game week 9 or so is when we were looking at. Yeah, game week 8 or 9. Yeah. True.
This is outside the box. Sell Matoma. Reason being, and this will sound crazy, knowing that he just scored 2 goals and he's an attacker for Brighton. But hear me out. They have a tough matchup against Villa, and then after that, the fixtures get even much tougher with Liverpool and City as their next 2 games. So maybe sell Matoma, bring in a Gordon for or Mbeumo, either one of the two, Mbeumo or Matoma, and you bring in Gordon and as a potential transfer.
Okay, so
that's a good shout too. I think Matoma could even be, but I think Matoma could possibly be used next week to bring Saka back. You know, if you've got a little bit in the bank, if you do get a little bit in the bank, then you can sell Matoma next week. Because you're right, it's a tough game this week, but I still think Matoma can shine this week. I think the following fixtures are really tough.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, it's probably worth looking at that.
The good thing though is that you have that flexibility with the wild card. So even if you say, all right, I'm taking out Saka, you could still bring him back in one of the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, true, very true.
But once again, it depends on his health. Like I think that's the main thing. Once you could find out exactly how bad it is and how long you'll be out, then you could make a proper decision.
Yeah.
Right. And well, this is my mean team, right? 371 points. I'm trying to break that 400 this week here. So this is my team right now. So this is my bus team. So in case anything happened to me, this is my bus team right now. Yeah, so Digne, Saliba, Kabore, Rashford, Solomon, Masaka, Eze, Haaland, and I have Estupinian on the bench. So, I mean, João Pedro, sorry. So, push come to shove, Saka doesn't play, João Pedro could always hop on.
Come on. Yeah,
yeah, it's a good one.
Right?
It's a good one.
I did not make any transfer. I supposed to have 2 free. I think I supposed to have 2 free. Did I? No, I have 1, right? Because this was my Bowen. Right, this was some last week I would have brought in Digne for this team. So I brought in Digne for this team. So this is what I'm looking at.
I'm not impressed with Izzy at all, but
yeah, boy. Yeah, he didn't. He in and about, but the end product. Yeah, no end product. So that's I might ship him out, but I'll really transfer because this team is not a terrible team. And go from there.
Yeah, that's the one for next week. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And have it because especially when City face Arsenal very soon, definitely want to have some transfers in the bag there. All right, so guys, we are hour and 16 minutes here, so I want to thank everyone for coming through. Johnny, since you are elite guest, our special guest, we'll let you with the honors of so what we normally like to do, one piece of special advice or key advice for the game week. You will start us off. Just one piece of advice for the double game week, for game week 7. Anything that you want to put out there?
Find a creative captain. Don't be a sheep. Don't follow the herd. Don't go with Haaland. And be creative. You're better than that. You are better than that. You are better than the rest of them. Be different. Be different.
I like that.
And try and don't get a heart attack when Haaland scores a hat trick and
Well, I'm just worried. I'm worried Chelsea are going to just win 10-0 this weekend, and your advice to get rid of all the Chelsea players is to come back to haunt a lot of people.
Not past Leno. Not past Leno.
For some respect on Leno, their name there. Yeah. Paul, solid advice for the game week.
Don't rush. I mean, I know it's kind of late in the week, but don't rush your transfers. Wait. I know a lot of players are injured. They have yellows by them, and a lot of people get. We have a friend in one of our leagues. I'll call out by name. I'm making out. Rachel, who is always rushing in transfers. She brought in somebody, and now that person that she brought in has a yellow on them. So do not rush your transfers. Wait until the last minute. Wait as long as you can. Try to get as much information as you can before you make your transfers. Because somebody could get ill, somebody could injure their toe. You never know what could happen.
Yes. Thank you, Paul, and thank you for shouting out. Every week we shout out Rachel because Rachel is not Rachel. Johnny, I have a friend.
She's a rookie. So gotta give her a little,
yeah, she's new to it, right, Johnny? But of course, she has F1 fantasy pedigree on her belt, so she thinks she's not picking the right players when we tell her to. She dropped Son when we told her keep Son, things like that.
Right? She's racing to make plays because she's in F1. She's racing to make the chance.
Yeah.
Right. On the flip side, Jenny, I have a friend who only started game week 2, never played it in her life, and she's on 303 points already. She made 91 last week. And great prodigy. I'm like, she's picking up players, but I'm also like last week I told her bring in Botman. She was like, Botman? I was like, trust me, bring in Botman, just do it. And she was in a glee, right? But much of the face. Look,
I love that you told that whole story just to tell us that you told someone to bring Botman in.
Yeah, of course.
And it made you the hero of the story, didn't it, Jared?
You want all the credit. Look how many comments. Look how many comments. Rachel, I got 80.
Wow.
She did get more than us. She did get more than
It's on.
really. She did get more than us. Shots fired, shots fired.
Shots fired, shots fired, shots fired. And of course, guys, my solid piece of advice, click that save button. Click that save button. You have to click that save button. Don't get distracted, right? Please, 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 please. And of course, always create a bus team the day before. So in case things happen, you don't get a chance, the girlfriend keep you too long in the grocery, right? Or try and get a data plan, people. Come on, check your phone, pull away, go to the bathroom, right? But always click that save button no matter what plans you're making. If you're going to do like Johnny and you want to captain Trippier, make sure you click that save button because if you're going to cry when Trippier has a hat trick of assist and a goal. You're going to cry, right? So
That's
make
happening. It's gonna
sure,
happen.
make sure, right? Yeah, look at just one. I do it. Right, of course.
Rachel's not happy with you now, Jared. Rachel.
That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Rank is the real thing. But guys, and of course, don't forget to like, share, subscribe the content. And of course, I want to plug Paul. Paul, plug yourself, Paul. Pulse of Paul on Instagram. I didn't get a chance to bring it up. Pulse of Paul on Instagram. He does a lot of sport commentary and sports reaction. So Paul, take it away now. Just plug yourself real quickly.
Yeah, well, I'm Paul, as you all know already. But I also do a lot of content on my IG channel, Pulse of Paul. That's Pulse of Paul. I'll be going to be dropping a YouTube channel soon. A bit of sports show called Pulse on Sports, where I'll just be covering sports topics. But for now, just doing reactions, updating people on what's hot, what's going on in sports right now. So as I said before, you could go on my channel, check out. I have a few reactions done already, but I want to be a little bit more consistent, step it up, and I'll be definitely doing more content. So you can check me out, Pulse of Paul on IG.
Yeah. And Johnny, you want to plug yourself once and let people know what you do, what you're going to do just now. You get ready for work. Tell people what you do, man. Because it's streamable. It's streamable, Johnny. So let people know what you do.
It is streamable. I'm pretty sure it's streamable. If you go to the I'm on the radio here in Australia, in Queensland. So if you look up Star Mackay and the Whitsundays, so the radio station is called Star Mackay and the Whitsundays. If you Google that one, you'll find our website there. You can have a listen in live. And I'm on air. I don't know what the time is where you guys are, but I'm on air here 11 a.m. till 5 p.m. So it's a decent shift, which is great. I'm also on air in New South Wales as well, in Australia. I do another show there from 2 p.m. till 5 p.m. and that's also streamable. That one's Power FM in Bega. So you can look that one up on Google as well. They've got a website where you can listen in live. Otherwise, for anything else that I'm up to, my Instagram at JOHNWILSONNN. I'm spelling it out because that's the only way to make sure you get the right one. But there's plenty of stuff up there. I'm always trying to do stuff, and I'm hopefully going to continue to do some more stuff with you guys as well.
Sure.
But yeah, always trying to do. I'm always up to something weird. So check out my Instagram because there's always, like, for example, the other week a circus came to town and they threw me in the air. I was flying through the air and it was crazy. So I'm always up to something crazy. So check out my Instagram.
Great content, always good. True.
Yeah, definitely have to check it out. Definitely have to check it out.
And I'll plug everything in the description below. So I want to thank my guest. Thank you, Johnny. Thank you very much. When you're getting ready for work, it'll be about 9 p.m. our time, guys. If you want to check it out, of course, Star Mackay, and of course, Pulse of Paul, Lord of Fantasy. Paul, thanks for coming through. We have a lot on our hands to plan for and prep for this game week. I want to thank everyone in the comment section, guys. We will see you guys in the next one. May arrows be green. May captain score hat-trick. May keep a clean sheet. And may your defender Trippier score hat-trick of hat-tricks. We will assist of hat-tricks. We will see you guys in the next one. Happy picking. Take care.